Good morning, everyone. Fucking good morning. Why is that my number one greeting? All right. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Collector Car Series. Today we're going to talk about a 2003 Porsche 911 Turbo. This car was produced at 20,000 units. Some mods to this car is it has a wrap, has suspension, and an exhaust system. The original price of this car was $38,000 and was restored from salvage. The history of this vehicle is it debuted from 1997 to 2004. The engine in this car drives from the 1998 Le Mans GT1 race car. The 993 engine is so different than this one, where it went from air-cooled to liquid-cooled. Hey everyone, if you think you have a car that would be great for our channel, shoot me an email at mike@driveforcancer.ca. If you like what you've seen today in this video, make sure you drop a like, a comment, and you subscribe to the channel for all our future content. We'll see you next episode. This specific vehicle came with an M96 engine. What that is a 3.6 twin-turboed flat six. It makes 414 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs and 415 pounds of torque. The transmission options that came in this is a 6-speed manual transmission or a 5-speed automatic triptonic transmission. The design in this car is beautiful in my eyes. And this wrap, well, I found out this name of the wrap is a Mad Max Steampunk. So that makes it even better in my eyes. So now we're inside this Porsche. And the first thing you're gonna notice, the key is on the left-hand side. And there's a reason for that. When Porsche designed this, they designed it so when you get in the car and you put the car into neutral, you can also start the car at the same time. If the key is on the right-hand side, you can't do that. The next thing you really notice about when you get in this car is it is automatic, but it has triptonic in it. When you get in it, it's situated right on the steering wheel. So the paddles aren't on the back, they're actually on your thumb on the steering wheel. Looking at the gauges, this is a classic Porsche look. I love the way that these gauges look. This one's in miles per hour. Beautiful. We're going to move over to the Multimedia System here. Now this isn't anything really special in my eyes. There's something cool that I would like to point out is that these CD changers, there's 4 and you can pop them out and they come out really differently than any other car that I've seen. So when you get in this car and you sit in the seats, this is extremely comfortable. This is a car you could definitely drive for a long distance. It's comfortable, it hugs you, not too tightly, but perfectly. And if you really want to try and bring people, there are back seats. I don't suggest doing that. I'm 6'2", and these seats back here are, well, they're storage. They're not for people. After taking a look at this 2003 Porsche 911 Turbo, why is this a collectible? Well, it's limited production. With 20,000 ever produced, it can classify as a limited production vehicle. The style and design of this car, from the headlights to the wing to the taillights, this car is beautiful. And best of all, we need to look at the performance. With lightweight, good power, the turbo kicking in, and the handling, well, that's what defines Porsche. Well,
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Steve, what's up, man? Thanks for bringing the car. I really appreciate you doing that. It's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
Well, it's clearly not an average Porsche. Visually, tell me a little bit about this car.
This is a 2003 Porsche 911 Turbo. It is the highest mileage turbo, I think, in Canada, with almost 200,000 kilometers.
Crazy.
Has the longest list of repairs possible each year, and it's slowly making me go broke.
Isn't that what Porsche are good at?
Yes, absolutely. That's why we buy them.
Yeah, exactly. So how long have you had the car?
I bought this car in August of 2018, so about a year and a half now.
Nice. Well, it looks like it's came a long way since when you got it.
My understanding when I got this, because I bought it from Calgary, is that it was a salvage repair. Because even when I bought it, it was in pretty rough shape. So the guy that I bought it from had indicated that he had purchased this for less than about $20,000 and put in, 20 or so thousand to bring it back up to shape.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this came from Calgary.
This is a Calgary born and bred Porsche.
Amazing. So you've obviously branded it with your company and put some love into this car. Would you ever sell it?
Good question. Good question. A part of me, when I first got it, figured it would be like an entry-level sports car for my kind of passion, and I thought I would sell it a year or so later. Looking at the prices of cars and how they're kind of going up, and in particular this year of Porsche, which is the least desirable now, but seems to be going up, it might be something that I keep for long term and just add to the collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, since this came from far away, how far have you driven this car?
I actually, the furthest I've driven this car is the same day that I bought it. I flew to Calgary on a Friday afternoon. I picked it up and I drove immediately over the next 3 days, 3,500 kilometers from Calgary up through Winnipeg, up to Thunder Bay, and all the way down to Toronto.
Some good roads to drive back on.
It's a trip that everybody should do.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. It's fantastic driving across Canada.
I'm gonna have to do it someday.
Yeah.
So, obviously you said you love this car. What is your favorite design about this car?
No, so in general, for some reason, and maybe it's just because I actually own the car, I feel like this is a really nice looking turbo version. With the 993 just before this, it's also a fantastic looking car, but it's just very much, I think, a smaller package. This one's a little bit longer and wider. And with the 997, the one just after this, you just see a lot of them on the road. This one's a little bit rarer, I think. And so just the stance is probably one of my favorite parts about this car.
Awesome. So I guess the next thing is the characteristics. Let's hear what you like about it.
It's fast.
Yeah?
Certainly the fastest car I've ever owned.
Okay.
And I don't think I'll ever need anything faster than what it's currently have. I love how wide the tires are. I love how loud the exhaust is. And obviously I love how crazy the wrap looks. So those are my favorite characteristics.
So should we go for a drive?
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, man. And we're gonna hit the road right now.
Let's go.
Enjoy the ride, guys.
Move it back a bit.
We'll go this way, no speed bump.
Yeah, it's lowered, so it's pretty low. It's not bad. If you want to get rid of the warnings, on the left-hand side, the bottom one, actually just pull it forward. Yeah.
Oh, beauty. Do you know where there's a gas station around here?
We still got 79 kilometers to it. Do you want to get gas? I mean, it's up to you.
Do you not want to get gas?
Well, you can get gas later.
Oh, okay.
Depends how far you're going. Like, are you gonna plan on going 80 kilometers?
No.
Yeah. Right?
I love that hum. Oh, you have it says kilometers in the bottom, eh?
Yeah, it's an American car initially. They actually told you it was from Calgary, but I lied.
Where's it? Well, you bought it from Calgary.
Yeah, I bought it from Calgary. I forget how many owners there have been, to be honest. But there's quite a few, like 12 or something.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you drive it in automatic, the computer, whatever you want to call it, inside, it learns pretty quickly
Your driving
habits. Your driving habits. So, like if you pin it, it'll downshift automatically and everything. Alternatively, you can put it in manual and drive it with the Tiptronic.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you drive in usually?
It depends, to be honest. Like if you want to be able to pick your gears, the Tiptronic's amazing. There's a little bit of a lag. It's not like today's PDK stuff.
Right.
But once you get used to it, you can really anticipate how to do it. It's pretty beneficial. You can't, it's wide open shifts, right?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you just put it to the floor and shift.
It'll just go.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Do you like downshifting this thing?
Yeah, it's alright. I downshift it. I mostly like when I'm driving like hard, I'll drive it in manual and I'll actually downshift it. You can't match revs, that's the only thing. And you can, if you wanted to, like right now, you can just put it in first.
Oh, so it'll even do that even if you're not in manual.
Yeah, and then it'll just stay there for, I forget what it is, like 5 seconds or something. Because it'll shift, you know, at like 2,500 RPM. Like you're already in 4th gear.
Yeah.
You could probably be in 1st. You know?
I don't even know what it is. 30, 35 mile an hour is 50, 60 kilometers.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of it now.
So should we try manual?
Go ahead.
Lights. Do you keep one on down and one on up? Is that how you usually do it, or do you just use your...
Depends.
So Logan, first here.
Yeah. Just make sure you shift, pin that shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it goes pretty good.
The little turbo lag.
Yeah. You're
But I started in second pinning now.
Well, it'll always start in second if you're in automatic. It doesn't go down to first.
Oh.
Because first is just so obnoxious, man. Like
Spins the tires. And...
Yeah, like if you turn the PSM off,
yeah.
like you'll just light the thing up.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No, I don't care. but you know, it gets pretty squirrely pretty fast. Yeah,
It's
like
not a big crackly, eh?
No, it's not too bad. Like I think that it's because the turbo is why it's not too much crackling, because the turbos are literally right on the straight pipes, like 24 inches from the end of it.
Right.
So you might know more about cars than I do, but doesn't that it doesn't allow the pressure to build?
It's not as loud, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all dependent on is there excess fuel and...
Right, and so those turbos, that's why I have such a huge whistle on this thing. Like if you're in a if you let off the gas or whatever, you get this woo, the big huge whistle, because I think it's just so close to the end of the exhaust.
It doesn't like to downshift into first either.
It's just such an aggressive gear. That's all.
Who's Manuel?
I don't even know what that means. I actually don't know what that is again.
Who is Manuel? Please, Porsche, if you're watching this, tell me what Manuel is.
Hey, in the comments below, what does that mean? Yeah, CD player. Put your CDs.
So cool.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like a cool little feature. I was disappointed I didn't get like some Skid Row like albums in there.
No, and there's a 6-disc changer in the hood, and if you open the ashtray, you can never get it closed.
I did.
I got it closed?
Yeah.
Did you have to try a couple times?
I had to push it like down deep and then it closed.
So a super common problem in all 996s is that the little gizmo.
I don't even think it's 996s. I think it's
Or is
anything Volkswagen. Anything Volkswagen that is like cup holders or ashtrays or arm consoles, write-offs.
Actually, you want to know a cool story? I had this car for probably 2 months before I realized that it did this.
Oh wow! What?
So I thought it was a single car. I thought it was a single cup holder. My entire for the first 2 months, and then someone was like, "No, it's got 2," and I was like, "No way!" Yeah.
German engineers.
I never knew.
Super weird. So now we're just rolling through some city streets here.
What are we supposed to go over in this video? Or are we just
shooting the shit?
And then I'll tell you another great story if you want, is that, so the day, I wrote this actually in that email, I flew to Calgary, I bought this car, I picked it up at 7 p.m. I drove, big bump there, yeah. I drove all the way, I forget how far I went, but for a couple hours. And then there's only one big highway basically across Canada, and I almost hit a deer, like after the first, because it was around midnight, it was really dark.
Oh my god.
So I decided, okay, I'll pull over and get a hotel room. So I got a hotel room, I woke up in the morning, and I was driving up through Manitoba, and I got caught doing 160 kilometers an hour. And the guy, when the cop pulled me over, he was like, "Oh, nice car," whatever. And he said, "You know, your plates are from another vehicle," because I'd taken the plates from my old car to put on it. And he's like, "I'm going to suspend your license for a year, and you get an $800 fine for for going 60 over."
But you have 14 days.
No, and he said, and then I said, "Well, how?" He goes, "How long have you owned the car?" And I was like, "I bought it 12 hours ago." And he's like, "Yeah." So yeah, for 60 over. So I got I went to court and I actually only got a 4-month suspension.
So because it was in a different province, I guess the rules are different on like transferring plates.
No, it was for the speed because I was going 60 over. Yeah, so I got caught doing 160 on the highway,
which isn't even okay. It's
no,
fast.
I asked
but
him. Yeah, and I asked him to drop it down. And he said he couldn't, and then he was like, "Here's a 1-year suspension, $800 ticket." And he goes, "How long have you had the car for?" Because the plates didn't match. And I said, "I bought it 12 hours ago." He's like, "Oh, bad luck." And I was like, "Fuck." Yeah, so
real bad luck.
So then I lost my license for 4 months after I went to court. Yeah, I wrote an 11-page rebuttal, like to the
to the prosecutor.
To a huge thing about like why I need to drive. Yeah, like all this stuff you can imagine.
And you know what's funny? They don't use work as a legit reason to have your license.
Yeah,
they think, oh, you can take public transportation or what do you call it?
No, it's pretty foolish when you think of it because
it's crazy. I lost my license. I got.
Oh, did you get a doozy one time?
I got a drinking and driving charge, and I wasn't even drinking and driving.
How?
So I built a car, and I went to my dad's house, and I started doing burnouts. He had just moved in. This was the day we were moving him in. Brought my car down, and we were like, let's do some burnouts. So did some burnouts. Did probably 20 burnouts, right? And then all of a sudden.
Sorry.
And then
burnouts.
We started drinking after that, and 3 hours later, the cops showed up, and they're like, "Are you drinking?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm drunk." They're like, "They arrested me." I was like, "You guys are fucking losers." Like,
I don't understand.
Yeah, so I was like, I have my police foundations degree, and you need care, custody, and control to charge someone with drinking and driving. They're like, yeah, whatever. You're a young, stupid kid. And they threw me on the hood. They were aggressive with me. And so I'm like in the jail, and they do my breathalyzer. I blew like 1, right? Went to court, 5-day trial, pled not guilty. Had a toxologist come down from Toronto to go over it. And based on what I ate and how much I drank and body weight, was exactly 0.001% difference of what I would have been for how much I drank and ate that day and the time frame. And so it got thrown out.
Oh, really?
I lost my license for 3 months. My car was impounded, and yeah, it was fucked. It was a horrible experience.
Yeah, they're bullshit. Anyway, enough about that. Okay,
Yeah.
Other interesting things with the car.
I love the way it actually handles, like...
It's on rails, this thing, man, with a good set of tires.
Yep.
This thing is just fantastic. It used to have the stock springs on. I lowered it 1 inch with H&R lowering springs.
Okay.
And then it's like on rails, this thing. So
You could daily drive this.
I do daily drive this
For sure. This is a...
Yeah, like if you clear the code.
Pull back, right?
Yeah. I just got to 190,000 kilometers.
Wow.
So I bought it with 160. I put 30,000 on it. 2 years.
So we're lining up with an S5 here.
Race them.
Well,
I was just looking for cops. Yeah, it pulls good though, eh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Failure spoiler control.
Oh yeah. Just clear that code. So the way the spoiler code works, there's a sensor at the top and the bottom of the bracket. There's a cop right there too. And if it takes too long, the sensor thing will go off. So because it's leaking oil, it takes too long, and it tells you there's a spoiler failure. It still goes up and down. It's just too slow.
This thing moves though. I didn't even look at the speedo. I had the conversation with Kyle, and I was like, "How fast have you gone in your car?" And he's like, "Honestly, I can't answer that. If you ask a passenger, they'll be able to tell you." And it's a true stat. Like if you're a driver, like you never look at your gauge. You tell by like when you shift. Like I didn't look at the RPMs. Like I could tell when it's starting to get to that pitch that okay, time to shift because obviously.
Yeah, no, you did good. You're right there. Yeah.
I was keeping my eye on it.
Were you?
Yeah, because you have to shift, you have to anticipate the shift, right? Like about, you know, a half second before. Or
Right.
how does that go? So I think it did pretty good. Yeah, boogies, man. It definitely does.
And it's fun. Like it's not like something like a Hellcat or something. You know that you're gonna lose control if you really put your foot down. Like, that didn't really spin. I think it left a second gear though, right?
It won't let you spin with the PSM one. Or with the PSM on. You have to turn it off if you want to spin. It's if you go into a corner just blazing fast,
Yeah.
and you take a corner, it'll hit all the brakes and stuff to make sure that it's spinning. It's like the smartest car in the world.
Wow.
And this is a 20-year-old car. So it's work. Thanks for my crash.
I am the insurance.
What was this? Beauty. Beauty.
I love this car.
Yeah. Good. Stop? Or do you want to do
Yeah.
something?
Sign it off.
Sign it off, man. Thanks a lot.